Hi, and welcome. Welcome back to the channel where I like to rant and hear myself talk. A couple days ago, after doom scrolling on TikTok for almost an hour, I decided to boot up my computer to work on a fic that I had been holding off on for a while now. And as I typed out the very first sentence, I remembered, wait, I made a YouTube video recently. So I grabbed my phone to check how well it did, not really expecting much. And while, yes, there wasn't much, there are actually two comments under it. And one of those comments said that I should talk about the actual problems within the shipping community, ranging from the most recent Gachi Yakuta situation to death threats sent to the man himself, Horikoshi. Uh, yeah, I didn't even know that happened, but yeah, let's talk about it. Now, listen, before we start, I'm aware that the shipping community is also very, very toxic. And in the making of my last video, I was supposed to address the fact that yes, there is a side of the shipping community that is also very toxic and utterly disgusting. But I didn't really get to it because I forgot and yeah, anyways. Also, shout out to the guy that made that comment because yeah, I had like zero video ideas in mind, so thank you. Also, shout out to the 3 people that are subscribed to me. I mess with y'all. Anyways, oh yeah, so before we actually get into this video, this video is gonna be less of a rant and more so me just talking about the toxic side of the shipping community, because I don't really keep up with communities and stuff like that and like what's going on with them. I mean, I'm just now getting into the shipping community. So the shit that I'm going to be talking about in this video is stuff that I like just learned about recently. Um and like, I actually had to do research on them. I mean, I somewhat knew about the Gotcha Kuda situation, but yeah, side note, what the fuck is going on with that community in general? But yeah, so I don't really have anything of value to say other than like sending death threats is bad. And I don't necessarily want that to be the theme of my video. But if I do have something important to say in the middle of this that I think has something to do with, or that has something to do with with what we're talking about, then I'll speak up. But enough of me explaining myself. Let's get into it. So this specific controversy happened way back in March from what I've gathered, so this isn't necessarily recent. There's also some other stuff going on right now with Kei Urana, and it's like, bro, what even is Gachi Yakuta at this point? It seems like that like community as a whole is just always getting into some shit, like whether that be from the fans, from the mangaka themselves, like every second of every turn, it seems like Gachi Yakuta is always in getting into some controversy. Like they can't escape it. So yeah, this whole thing started with Kay on an IG live, basically saying that she doesn't mind shipping, just don't ask her questions about whether or not a character relationship or a character sexuality is canon or not. She ended up getting really mad and ended up having to remind grown adults, gonna be using that term a lot, by the way. But yeah, grown adults on the internet that, hey guys, I'm still the author, so like, unless I say this shit, it's not canon, which is completely and utterly understandable and also completely true. But for some reason, grown adults on the internet ended up getting so mad that they bullied the mangaka off X. Alright, let's talk about it. It will never make sense to me how people can get mad at the author of a media property they like, simply saying that unless they directly state or imply a specific aspect of their story, it's not true. And this is really interesting because in my last video, I stated that the whole point of shipping was so as a community, you can sit and discuss relationships or aspect of a particular relationship that didn't get explored in their respective properties. People, have we lost the plot? And listen, it's okay to dislike a choice an author made in a media property you like, but if it is truly that serious to you, write a fan fiction. Why do you think we have AO3? Why do you think there is entire subreddits based around shipping? Why do you think shipping as a whole exists? It's for people like you, people like us, who constantly imagine a fantasy world where two of our favorite fictional characters from a particular story actually get together. It's for people like us who love queer representation in media but understand that we also have the power to represent ourselves by simply taking characters from our favorite media properties and putting them in relationships that would never happen in their respective stories. AO3, Wattpad, Reddit, Discord, all of it serves as a means to put our true desires about a media property into reality. Use your resources, people. And if you're one of those people who are like, but I can't write a good story, I'm not a good author, that's not the point. I am nowhere near the level as even an amateur author, and I have 2, soon to be 3 fan fictions already posted. And yeah, that's not really a lot. There's a whole bunch of people with way more fanfics than I'll ever post. But the point is, I pushed past the idea that my writing needs to be top tier. Those fics I have posted, there's not even 2,000 words under them, and people still give them compliments. Trust me, if I can get compliments on the absolute dog shit that I write, you have nothing to worry about. But I digress. And listen, I understand that you might not feel like putting in the time to actually write a fanfic. I get that. But again, if it really is that serious to you, talk about it with somebody. Explain why you think the ship is great. Explain why you think it makes sense. This is what communities are for. It is an author's job to make the source material, and it is our job as fans to come up with cool ideas based off of that source material. It is our job as fans to help and support each other and connect through our shared interests. And not only is it our job to come up with cool ideas, not only is it our job to, come together and connect, it is also our job to make the author feel like their work is truly being appreciated. And you do that by doing the thing that I already mentioned, and also understanding that not everything the author does you're going to like. So instead of whining and crying and bullying the author off social media, we should instead speak out and see if other people also didn't like the choices the author made, and in that you can explain how you feel about it, why you feel that way, and even debate somebody else about it. But I understand that a utopia like that is seemingly impossible given society's current, insatiable need to be mad and disagree with something. So instead, I think our, best course of action would be to simply ignore these people and remain ignorant to the toxic side of. Yeah, no, the shipping community is entirely too big for that. Yeah, so there really isn't a solution to any of this. And I mean, this is going past the simple idea that society just wants to disagree with something all the time. No, I mean, there really isn't a way to stop these things from happening if they involve the toxic side of the shipping community. Because listen, the truth of the matter is that even though Bakudeku probably has one of the largest communities behind it, it is also the most insanely toxic. And when you have a fan base like that is not only insanely large, but also very loud and outspoken about their distaste for certain author decisions, there really isn't much you can do about it. Because while, yes, there obviously is a much more healthier and friendlier side to the shipping community, they are not nearly as loud as the toxic side of the community. And that right there is probably the biggest problem when it comes to this community as a whole. So you know what? Even though this video isn't going to get anything over 100 views, I think we should all start showing these authors that yes, there is a friendlier and much more healthier side to your community. And yes, we are here for you. And yes, we are so much better than that side of the community. Anyways, I think I'm gonna end the video there. Obviously, I was supposed to talk about the Horikoshi situation, but I mean, you know about it, and this video was really just supposed to be addressing the toxic side of the community. And whatever I said about the Kei Urana situation is basically what I would have said for the Horikoshi situation. So yeah, and I think I said all that I needed, all that I think needed to be said, at least by me. You know how I feel about it all. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I know what I said about like in the beginning of this video about my last video. Like there not really being much there when I went to go check. Um, but I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting that last video to get 131 views. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that brought a smile to my face. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making the script also. I think I got a lot off my chest with it. What else? Oh yeah. Happy Pride Month for like the second or third time. But yeah, man, I hope all of y'all have an amazing day. And if you're watching this at night, good night, man. Good night.